Hey YouTuber, what's going on? Just cleaning something right here. Yep. So I want to talk a little bit of basketball, though. Yes, I got. Now I will say this: if I had any athletic ability whatsoever to even knock or sniff at playing NCAA basketball, I would be going to this school, though. But I would want Coach K to be coaching. But well, even though when I was in college, I would have been at the time. Yeah, Coach K was still at Duke and North Carolina. But yeah, even though that they're out and Duke lost to UConn, and I mean I really haven't followed much of college basketball to say it's okay. Michigan, Arizona, Illinois, UConn. I mean, you got Michigan, Arizona from their conference division, all that they're one, and then UConn, Illinois. I mean, they're 2, 3. It's like, I who knows? That's where my knowledge is on basketball, though. But talking about NBA, I've always been this type of fan. I really don't start watching and really paying close to attention until the games really matter. So, which is basically playoffs, though. And now we're this time of year, early April, and it's like, hey, season's slowly winding down. We're trying to figure out, okay, these teams, the good teams already, all right, they secure their playoff spots, and then we got the other teams. They're trying to fight for a certain position, and then the other teams are just playing though to finish out this rest of the season. Lakers are third in the West, and look, I mean, they're gonna have to bring everything that they got and then some to either beat like San Antonio or OKC, because whoever comes out of the West, if it's one of those two teams, they're winning it all this year. That's my opinion, though. And then the East, look, the Hawks. I mean, however many games right now they've scored under, not scored, but I mean won in a row, and they're fifth right now. They're only, let's see, Detroit, Boston, New York Knicks, Cleveland Cavaliers. Yeah, they're only behind. I mean, beating, like they're ahead of the Sixers, Raptors, Hornets, Magic, Heat right now. And I mean, they're they're playing at a good time. They got hot at the right time, and when you get hot at the right time, you could gain that momentum to win. Though, so I still think the fantasy of the Hawks and Lakers playing for the NBA final is still a dream. Yes. So, is it going to happen? I believe hell will freeze over first before that happens, if you want my realistical answer, but you just never know, though. And look, I've criticized basketball. The product is terrible. It's boring. I mean, this is one thing where it's so difficult for me to watch a game from the very beginning till the very end, though. Probably because I was just so used to it growing it up watching in the 90s and early 2000s, and then right before around early mid to 2010s, and then it was just like the interest and my excitement for it just was starting to go on a decline, though. Look, I love the game of basketball. I love playing basketball. Watching it, that's just a different story, though. And again, it doesn't mean to knock on basketball, people that love basketball. And that, look, if you love basketball and think basketball is great, awesome. Please continue on, though. And I got a couple coworkers, they're diehard basketball fans. They know more in basketball right now than I ever do. And they would be my go-to guys. Like if I want to know what's going on and who's getting hot, who's not, and what are the chances of like the best teams going to be playing the championships? Like I go to them. So yeah, I could try to watch the games if I can. Watch as many highlights as I can. Listen to people talk about on these sports shows though that seem to be. I don't know why they're still on, but they are though. Even though there's some YouTubers I think they're more qualified though. But again, that's just my opinion. Doesn't mean that it's true or factual. Okay. Just my opinion. But yeah, I go to certain sources and people first, and then I watch what I watch, listen what I listen, and then I form my own opinion, though. But for me, yeah, it's always toward the end is where I really start watching and paying more close attention, though. Personally, who I think though, it's like I said with the West, it's either going to be OKC or San Antonio. Whoever comes out of that, they're going to win it all. And then for the East, I mean, obviously I hate the Celtics because being a Lakers fan, but Detroit's their number one team right now. But then you got New York, Cleveland as well, and then the other teams that I name. I mean, hey, it's pretty much up for grabs. So I just hope for this postseason coming into it for 2026 for the season that it's fun, exciting, competitive. Though at least kind of trying to remember my old times watching it, where guys were really playing at it, though their defense and, whether the scoring was high or not, but it was just awesome to watch. Can we bring that back? If possible. Yeah. Anyways, that's just my take on for basketball. But I just wanted to make this video up. I've always been this type of fan. I start to watch or pay more close attention later on into the season, though. This goes for baseball also and soccer as well. Even though for soccer, though, Atlanta United just hasn't been. When I hear they're going to play and the next thing they lose, I'm like, great. But like Braves, Dodgers right now, they're both to a hot start, though. In my opinion, though, the season ended today and make a run for the World Series, though. I pick those two teams right now, though. But hey, in 7 months, we gotta see if that's how that is, plays out, though, because baseball is like a marathon. It's not a 100-meter dash. All right. Well, anyways, just wanted to keep it short, or at least within the 10 minutes time frame. So, yep, that's why I'm using more of this type style of camera. All right, got much love for y'all. Peace out. Have a good one, though. Have a good Friday. If you celebrate that. I'm out.